Today we're talking with Ben Kane, author of a number of books that we'll scroll through here right now, and focus on ancient Rome, Muslim. His newest book's on Spartacus. Also, a new series on Hannibal coming out. Please stay tuned. He'll be talking about all these books. And stick through to the end of the video where we'll have a special offer for you from Ben himself. And without further delay, here's Ben.
Yeah, so it was just, it was sparked when a couple of things. I visited Iran and Turkmenistan and Uzbekistan and so on in about 1997.
Wow.
And I was following...
adventure.
It was amazing. Yeah, I mean, I was following part of the old Silk Road after I'd read a travel book by a chap called Colin Thubron. And when I visited the ruins of a city called Merv, which is in the middle of the desert in Turkmenistan. And there was a line in my guidebook that said there had been Roman soldiers there in 53 BC. And I just thought it had to be nonsense because it's so far from... So the eastern limit of the Roman Empire was Syria and Judea, now Israel, and this was 1,500 miles further east.
Yeah.
But it was true. The survivors of Crassus' soldiers were marched to around that area, and we don't know what happened to them after that. So it was when I'd written a book about Roman soldiers on Hadrian's Wall about 2003, 2004, and I'd been signed up by an agent who was interested, but he told me that all my men did was in my books, all they did was march, and I said, well, that's what Roman soldiers did.
Yes.
You know, they didn't have planes and jeeps and so on. So, but to cut a long story short, he felt that story wasn't exciting enough. So I remembered this weird thing where I'd been in Turkmenistan and the story of the Forgotten Legion kind of came from there, and it became, well, it was sold in 2007. 6 of the major publishing houses in Britain bid for it, and one of them won. It was sold to America. It's published in America by St. Martin's Press, and to about 7 other countries. So
the third one, the Road to Rome, that just came out here in the U.S. this month.
It just came out in paperback, that's right, yeah. It's a little bit about a year. I mean, people ask me all the time, why aren't the dates the same? And it's because St. Martin's Press is a big American publisher. They're totally different to my British publisher.
Right. So
they bought the trilogy, but they have their own publishing schedule, which happens to be about a year behind here. So the hardback came out in March last year, and the paperback came out the other day, yeah, that's right. So...
So the first two. This is the last one of the series. Then the Road to Rome.
Yeah, I mean, it's got an open ending, and the most common email I get practically on a daily basis is what happened to. I mean, I won't name the characters for people who haven't read it, but not all of the characters are at the end of the book for one reason or another, and we don't know what happened to them. And I get these emails saying, "What's you can't leave us like this." And I wasn't intending to upset people, and nor am I intending to write another book about it. I just felt that the ending was a bit like life, where we've all had situations that don't get resolved, where we have an argument with somebody and we never see them again, or we meet somebody and we get on with them, but then we never see them again. And I felt it was appropriate, especially in the days before mobile phones and Facebook, where if you went off from a town or a village where you might never go back, you would never see that person again.
Right. They didn't even have the post.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I mean, they had messengers, but your average person never saw someone again unless they happened to walk back to where they met them.
Yeah.
So I felt it was an appropriate ending, although it seems to get a lot of people really excited, upset, and/or desperate for more.
So can you tell us what your next project is?
Yeah, well, I'm a little bit sort of ahead of here in the UK. I've already had the first book in a Hannibal quartet published here in the UK last year. Now, the Americans have bought that, but it isn't coming out until next year because I've also written a book about Spartacus. In fact, I'm just finishing the second one. That's going to be just two standalone books about Spartacus. And my American publisher is very keen on that because
Amazon tells me that Spartacus is coming out this June.
Yeah.
But if any of us Americans want it, I suppose we can go on to Amazon UK.
You can go on Amazon UK, and then there's a really good website called thebookdepository.co.uk, which doesn't charge shipping to anywhere in the world. Nice. Because Amazon UK, they're great, but they'll charge shipping to America, whereas... Well, I owe a huge debt to all of my readers because they're the people who allow me to be a full-time writer, and I'm tremendously appreciative. So every time I have a book coming out, I run a competition, and the last few times, and this time, the competition I always have a real Roman coin. So it's not terribly valuable, but it's worth nearly $100. It's a genuine silver Roman coin from 47 BC. And I've got a stainless steel Gladius letter opener and a mug with Veni Vidi Vici on it, which is quite funny.
Great.
I can just show you that now.
Yeah, great.
And I've got loads of copies of my books, so some people are interested in that. I've got a dozen copies of the hardback and large format paperback of Spartacus, and also of my in that total some paperbacks of Hannibal.
And you're sending these out signed, of course.
I send them out signed. I'll dedicate them to whoever wins, and I'll send them to America, Canada, anywhere, Australia. People win them all over the world. I'm very happy to post them out, and hopefully people will enjoy them.
Great. Well, thank you very much for spending a few minutes with us this morning.
That's great. Well, thank you very much. It's very, very kind, and I really like the forum. I think it's a great place to hang out. I never have enough time to do more than look at the ancient section.
Of course, yeah.